what's on the menu for dinner tonight? Guess I need to go shopping. Oh, hot sausage. That'll work. Hi, I'm Pete, and welcome to Just a Few Acres Farm. Well, it's a typical fall day today. It's kind of cloudy, kind of cool, little windy. I'll take that. We got to go out and check on those cantankerous cattle. They must be hiding. Where'd they go? Oh, they're over the hill. Howdy, cows. How are you guys doing today? Oh, Patty, I know. Patty's job as the herd boss is to lobby for her constituency. If she didn't, she might not get elected again this year. Hi, Titus. How are you? Gotta have a back scratch. There you go, bud. Everybody's hanging out and munching. And complaining. Look at this pretty little calf. Got little black rings by his eyes. I love it. And these are two of those troublemaking yearlings that got out when the fences weren't zapping like they should. Yearlings and calves. Mama cows aren't so bad with a weak fence. Right, guys? You guys are troublemakers, I'm telling you. I know you'll come and see me. Oh, here comes Titus. Hey, big bud. You always want to scratch, don't you? Oh, you gotcha. When we were having problems with our fences, I went ahead and put them on this field, this whole field, which is 5 acres, and really nice grass growth in this field. Usually we would strip graze this, you know, bring them down the field one strip at a time, but right now they're on the whole thing. They're probably going to be on it for another week or so. There's still quite a bit of growth in here, and then we'll start strip grazing down in our lower fields. It's really interesting to see the difference in whole field grazing versus strip grazing. When we let them onto a strip and we move the fence back every day, they are voracious. They come in and they just chomp, chomp, chomp. But when you put them on a whole field like this, they tend to just kind of continually top off the tank. They'll come out and they'll kind of browse like this, lay around for a while, go up to the grove, come back down, browse for a little while. You know, sometimes it makes me wonder about the benefits of doing mob grazing like we are and moving them every day when I see the change in behavior to whole field. And the main reasons that we went to strip grazing instead of whole field grazing like this is because of, well, really 3 things. Number 1, compaction. We wanted to get the cattle off of each piece of ground after a day to limit the compaction on it. Number 2, it gives the grass the maximum time to rest and regrow if they're only on it a day, and then they move off it onto the next one. And number 3, it keeps them from eating the more desirable grass species right down to the ground, so those species can recover quicker. And the ones that they'll eat down to the ground first are clovers. They love them, they're sweet. And alfalfa, which they've partially chopped off now. They love this because it's got a lot of protein in it, and we all know that protein is what makes you feel full, right? There is nothing in my book as relaxing as sitting down in the field and just listening to the cows graze and watching them work their way. They'll kind of stick together as a herd and walk over one way in the field while they're eating. I truly believe that if more people could do this, what I'm doing right here, we could probably solve a lot of the world's problems and eliminate a lot of the anger out there these days. And it's just so peaceful, and it re-centers you. I can't explain it. I've been running around all week, fixing fence, making videos, going to farmers market, getting butchering done, and this is the first day where I've been actually able to be with the animals and sit and really recharge. We all need that from time to time. It doesn't hurt that I'm sitting on a carpet that I'm so proud of. I mean, it's been a great year for growing grass with lots of rain, but to keep our pastures in this shape 8 years after seeding them is something that gives me a lot of satisfaction. My grandfather was a guy who knew the value of kind of just being, like I'm being out here. He was usually a talkative guy, but he understood kind of both sides of the coin, so he loved to tell stories and go out and see people. But he also knew that there were hours in the afternoon where he and I would sit in these old metal chairs he had by the well under our big horse chestnut tree, and we wouldn't say much, and he would smoke his pipe, and he might share some news or some little snippets, but mostly it was just sitting quietly. And it helps you to kind of learn how important listening is rather than talking all the time. And it taught me to look around me too, like clover blossom. Nature has this wonderful complexity that if you're driving by at Zoom, you don't see it. But when you really start to look at nature in detail, you can spend a long time noticing things that you've never noticed before. Here's a piece of white clover. The blossoms are amazing. I guess when I talk about being grounded in nature, I'm really talking about this kind of stuff, noticing what's around you and taking time to kind of be quiet. Sometimes when our farm is really busy, I forget the importance of that, and I lose center, and it's not a good thing. And I need these times to recenter and reconnect with really what's important. And what's important isn't on a computer screen. It's not something that somebody said. It's what comes out from you. It's your relationship to this, the animals, the woods, all this stuff. I don't know how to convey it in the best way. You can see I'm circling around it, but there's so much happiness here that so much of the world is missing, and I wish there was a way to just remove them from where they are, put them in this for a week and see what happens. Titus is still checking for heats. At this point, I'm 99% sure that he's bred all of the cows and heifers out here, and we're just waiting to make sure that nobody comes back into heat. He hasn't been tailing any cows for about a week now. Here's Doc. Remember Doc from last winter? My buddy in the barn. Hey Doc, how are you doing? Do you remember me? You remember me. Those are the same licks you gave me last winter, but you've gotten a lot bigger. Hey guys. I like curious animals. I always take it as a sign of intelligence. Not sure if that's true, but that's the way I take it. Oh, now you want to play? You want to play? You're feisty. You're feisty. You are. You're not shy, are you? No. This gal here is the only heifer from last year that we're keeping for breeding. I really like her. Your name is Ginger, isn't it? You're Ginger. You're probably bred by now. You literally like a scratch. You never were hand shy. No, you don't want to smell my boots. They've been everywhere. Chicken guts and pig poop. It's not good stuff. Definite steer. Some folks have said that their ears hang low like that because of what I did to them when they were calves. That makes me feel bad. Your ears would be hanging low anyway, wouldn't they? Because you're a steer. Yeah. You're going to do the head swing. Well, let's get back here and you'll like that better. There you go. Cattle don't like it when you come straight at their face like I was doing. They would rather have their neck scratched because it looks like a threat if you go straight for their forehead. What? You want to scratch, don't you? Yeah. Oh. What is that thing? What is that thing? Yeah. I always believe that if you want a friendly herd of animals, all you got to do is spend time with them. They just need to be used to you, out with them, not looking at them over the fence. If they're used to you, then they're a lot less nervous when you come in and more likely to come up to you. It's pretty simple, right? I'm going to leave these guys to it because I've got other things to do today. You can probably tell what's been on my mind lately. There doesn't seem to be any good news out there, and I'm not one to follow the news, but Hillary certainly does, and I hear it from friends and other folks. And what bothers me is there doesn't seem to be, or there's fewer and fewer reasonable people out there, and the world's built on reasonable people, in my opinion. Now I have a really fun job to do. Not. I have to clean the remaining feed out of this gravity wagon because the mill is coming to fill it tomorrow. And this requires the use of a broom with a nice extendable handle and a lot of scraping. I'm probably going to have to climb up in there and scrape it out with a shovel because you got to get everything out. I don't want anything left in there. This is pig feed in this gravity wagon. Those piggers are really starting to eat a lot of feed. Alright, I gotta climb up in there and get the last bit out. I don't want to get locked in there, you know. This is never pretty. My foot! Just kidding. That was a fun job. No. Hello, my old friend. I actually got 2 gravity wagons to be filled tomorrow. The one I just emptied out, and then the layer feed, that wagon's out in the pasture. I'm gonna bring them both in. This one right here. And the second one. There we go, just leave them here. The auger truck will come tomorrow and fill them both up and back out they go. It's chore time, but first I'm gonna go in and see what Hillary's up to. Hey, Hill.
Hi, these are big chickens.
Big chicken. Hillary and I have decided that we're ready to be done with broiler season.
6.2.
That's a big chicken.
I'm ready to be done for the season. It's been so long and it flew past so quickly.
It did, well.
Like fast and slow at the same time.
We have to finish up broilers for the year, and the turkeys are just about ready, and then we have to do stew hens to thin the laying flock. And we always breathe a sigh of relief, I think, when butcher season is done.
Yeah, that's like a huge hurdle. 5.7.
Wow. Well, it's time to do afternoon chores. Now that is improvisational grazing. Oh, there's nobody here. Here comes some customers bellying up to the buffet table. Dinner time, ladies. Second favorite sound cows munch in pasture is cows munching hay. Are you stuck? Can you back yourself out? You're stuck, aren't you? Can you get out? Can you get yourself out? You got yourself in a pickle there. Here, let me give you a hand. All right, I know. This ain't the first time something like this has happened. There you go. There she goes. Yeah, I gotta let her friends know. Look at that. That's kind of nice to see. Oh, I'm starting to feel a little peckish. Howdy, piggers. I think you're hungry. Is that right? Oh, geez. I guess the fence is hot. Somebody told me you guys are hungry. Who told me that? What are you doing? Hey, it's time to cook dinner. This is how I cook sausage. I put it over direct heat for 4 minutes, close the lid, then I flip it over. Oh yeah. Let it cook for another 4 minutes. And then I move it over to indirect heat. Oh, it broke, that's alright. And I let it finish over there for about 5 minutes. She's done. You didn't think I wouldn't do the old taste test, would you? Now, as far as I'm concerned, this is the best way to cook our sausage on the grill. The other way is to drop it raw into pasta sauce and actually cook it in the pasta sauce. And it stays moist. The flavor really comes out on the grill. I don't know what it is. Well, I guess I better save some of this for my family. I have a couple of housekeeping items before I close this video and go in and eat with my family. Number one, we have a P.O. box now, and it's down in the video description. So if you want to send anything, that's where to send it to. Number two, I won't be at the Ithaca Farmers Market this weekend. I'm going to a tractor pull, the last of the season. I hope to make a video out of that. So I won't be there. Hillary will be there instead. I hope you enjoyed this video and have a great day, and I'll see you next time.